My name is Ambassador Tim Ford Jr. of the African Union AUCS, and I've been living over in East Africa, Tanzania for almost 5 years now, and I help my people invest, rebuild, and return over to the continent of Africa. I promise you, by the end of this video, I'm going to talk about some very important things that President Ibrahim Traore is doing over in Burkina Faso, and some tangible ways where you can invest into agriculture over on the continent of Africa. I plan to do this by sharing some of the initiatives that President Ibrahim Traore is doing, and sharing some of my testimony and journey about the things that I've been seeing and accomplishing over here on the continent of Africa. So today we're going to overcome the fear of not having an understanding of what's going on the continent of Africa before you invest. So let's go. So President Captain Ibrahim Traore has a presidential initiative in place, and the main focus of this initiative is for food self-sufficiency. The self-sufficiency plan is for Burkina Faso to put itself into a position where it can feed itself and the entire world. And later we're going to discuss ways that you can potentially invest into the agriculture sector over here on the ground in Africa, but that's a little bit later, okay? So President Captain Ibrahim Traore has launched a series of prison reforms aimed at rehabilitation, reducing overcrowding, and aligning the justice system with traditional African values. One key aspect of the prison reform package is the introduction of a prison sentence reduction initiative. Now, under this initiative, detainees who participate in agricultural work will have their sentence reduced by 3 months for every 1 month that they serve within the agriculture sector. Now, this is a way for the country to equip prisoners with practical skills, ease their integration back into the society, and boost Burkina Faso's agricultural output. All around the world, prisoners just sit in jail and not produce things for the society. They just take advantage of the people that's in jail and just use them for cheap labor and not benefit them as a person, and also do not benefit the country as a whole. I mean, they do get cheaper labor for some of the things that they do with the prison labor over in America, but this initiative that President Ibrahim Traore has in place, he's actually equipping the prisoners to be able to go back into society and be productive citizens. Most times when prisoners in America get out of prison, they end up going back into prison because the society is not accepting to them, and they don't have any of the skills most time to be productive citizens within the society. So a lot of times they revert back to the poverty-stricken ways that got them into the prison situation, and they end up going back because it's an ongoing cycle that they have in that system over there. It's like you get out, but you still are stuck because you have to make money, but you can't make money because you have a felony on your record, and then they don't want to hire you because they look at you a certain way because you went to jail. But Ibrahim Traore is trying to change the narrative and do things the African way and teach the people while they're in jail a way for them to create something for themselves when they get out of jail. So when they get out, they can go to a farm and get a job, or even start their own farm and do something productive within the society and help the agriculture sector get to the place that they want it to be and feed the entire world. Not only does President Captain Ibrahim Traore has an amazing initiative for the prison reform, but he's also shipped in 1,000 tractors to the local farmers over in Burkina Faso in an effort to equip them to have the materials so that they can farm on a large scale. And the total cost for these tractors was about 78 billion CFA francs. And he took this major risk by getting this amount of money by cutting the defense budget that the country has and allocated some of those funds to put into the agriculture sector, to put behind the people to get machinery, and also he's put some of the money into education so that the farmers over in Burkina Faso can get the proper education to learn about sustainable farming practices that will help them to produce fruits and vegetables year-round using traditional permaculture practices and natural ways to work with the land in order to have the land work with you in return. So President Captain Ibrahim Traore is making the necessary adjustments, making the necessary investments, and making the necessary moves to invest in his country and the continent of Africa. Like I mentioned, his ultimate goal is for his country to feed itself and the entire world. And I feel like he's going in that direction strongly, and he's gonna make and reach his goal because he has his country behind him and he has his his people behind him, and he has all of us within the diaspora behind him and praying for him, hoping that he gets to the finish line, because so many of our people need to see him as an example reach his goals, so that all of us can see what we can do as a people if we stand up and take these necessary risks. For many years, Africa has been deemed a place where people can invest, where people don't have an understanding of. And there has been this fearful mindset because of the lack of visibility of things on the ground over here. But since I've been here for the past 5 years, I'm grateful and honored to be able to let my people know that there's tremendous opportunities over here on the continent of Africa if you have the right mindset and if you move strategically. As I've been over here for these past 5 years almost, I've seen President Ibrahim Traore stand up and take a risk and take hold of the minerals and resources over within his country and do what he should be doing as a leader to help his people get to where they need to go. I've been saying this the entire time. If more countries, if more leaders stood up the way that President Ibrahim Traore is standing up, we would be in a better position as a people. The fact that he has the mindset and the vision to feed the entire world goes to show you that Africa is changing and Africa is waking up. I know some people watching this video are wondering, how can I get involved into the continent of Africa? How can I put my money in agriculture and make something happen for me and my family? Well, we're presenting you guys with an opportunity to invest over in agriculture in East Africa, Tanzania. Now, we have our farm where our plan is to feed and heal the entire world. And we have a webinar coming up on March 30th where we're inviting our people to come and join us to invest in our farm over here in East Africa, Tanzania, to create generational wealth and position yourself properly during these times as we elevate as a people. President Ibrahim Traore isn't the only one that sees the writing on the wall. We as a people, we see the writing on the wall as well. So we must lock arms and come together and do what we can in order to position ourselves properly while we have the opportunity to. So join us on March 30th for our Africa Will Feed and Heal the World event, where you can invest in our farm, where we have many different herbs like moringa, mullein, lemongrass, organic chicken, tobacco, and that's just to name a few. We're presenting this opportunity to our people because we know that our people are looking for different ways to get involved and get active with things on the ground over here on the continent of Africa. Like me being over here and living on the ground for these past 5 years, I've learned so many different ways about how to move and how to operate doing business over here and scaling a farm. So if you're interested in assisting and helping the continent of Africa push forward in the agriculture sector, make sure you join us on March 30th so you can be a part of the conversation. All right. Since we're here, gotta show y'all some of the products real quick.
This I'm not your body ready. I'm not your body.
Yeah, natural products.
Not your body.
Yeah.
Not your body.
Yeah. Say. Yeah. Come closer. Come. Busy Beachy. Now, I'm excited to hear what you guys think about what President Ibrahim Traore is doing with the agriculture sector over in Burkina Faso. Do you guys think he will be successful? And how long will it take for him to be successful and turn his country around? And also, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I always like to know where my people are showing love from, especially if you're over here on the continent of Africa. Let me know which country you're showing us love from. And if you're over in the Western world, let us know so you can show love and I can see where my people are tuning in from, all right? Next, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can stay tuned to the content and keep coming back as we continue to produce content about what's going on over here on the continent of Africa and the history that I learned since I've been over here on the ground. And also, if you're thinking about coming to the continent of Africa, I have free resources in the description box that will help you get the proper perspective so that you can move properly when you decide to come to the continent of Africa. And I also offer consultations and Swahili courses to help you become competent to speak the language of Swahili if you decide to come over to East Africa, Tanzania. Now, if you made it to the end of the video, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. I don't take it for granted that you stayed tuned to the end. Now, let's do what President Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. Let's lock arms. Let's build together. Let's work together and make strategic moves and make strategic investments so that we can push the continent of Africa forward. All right. If you're interested in investing in agriculture, make sure you join us on March 30th for our Africa Will Feed and Heal the World event so we can talk about how you can get invested into the continent of Africa in the agriculture sector. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention again. And I hope this video was able to bring you some value and you don't let these people take your shalom peace. All right. Y'all stay focused out there and stay safe. Shalom.